Welcome students. This session is for BA second year English Literature, paper 2nd, that is prose and fiction. So let's continue with the essay by G.K. Chesterton on the pleasures of no longer being very young. Before we go to the text, let's have a recap of what we have done so far. In this essay, Chesterton analyzes the advantages which one enjoys in old age, and he says that how things seem to be very young, quite fresh and lively as a person approaches old age in comparison to the people who are still in their youth age. He also gives examples from proverbs that have more meaning for these people who are old in comparison to the people who are young. He gives instances from history, that how history repeats itself, and he presents a paradox where he says that it's the moderns, it's the young people who do not realize modernity, because this modernity is the background of their life and they have been born into it. It's only the people who are old, they are able to realize modernity because they were there in this world before new things came. So it is the advantage of the old age which can realize the change. So now let's continue with the text. Chesterton, continuing with this paradox, he writes that it is one of the artistic advantages of the aged that they do see the new things relieved sharply against a background, their shape definite and distinct. So let's understand this way, that our background means it's our life, the experiences of our life, and in this life that we have lived, which is our background, if anything new comes up, one is able to identify that thing quite definitely and distinctly. But for the new generation or for the young people, their life background is itself new. So they are not able to see anything new in that new background, whereas these people who are in old age, they have their background which have a lot of experiences attached to it, and in this background, if anything new happens in this world, they are able to see, they are able to notice it quite definitely that this thing is new in this world. So one says that this is the artistic advantages of the aged people, that they are able to notice, they are able to realize the newness which is happening. To the young, these new things are often themselves the background, because they have not been before this new thing. They are product of this new age. So these young people, they are not able to realize anything new, because for realizing something as new, one has to be present in this world before that new thing has happened. Only then a person is able to realize the change that has come. Hence, even the most intelligent of innovators is often strangely mistaken about the nature of innovation and the things that are really new. So here gives a very interesting example, that people who call anything as new, as an innovation, it is possible that this innovation has reoccurred in this world after a period of time. It's only old people who know that this thing which the newer generation is calling as new, it was present in the past at some point of time. So the innovations which are happening in the present times, even the most intelligent of people, they become mistaken about the newness of an innovation, because it's only the old people who know exactly what really is new, because they know that what thing has repeated itself as a history and what thing has really appeared in this world as new. And the oldest inhabitant will often indulge in a senile chuckle as he listens to a village orator proclaiming that the village church will soon be swept away and replaced by a factory for chemicals. And one more example he gives of an inhabitant who lives in a village, and he's going to have a silent laugh at um, this village orator proclaiming that soon the church will be swept away from the village, and in place of church, a factory for chemicals will be established. So he laughs at this proclamation, because he knows that this church, which is now given so much of importance by people in the older years or in the past, hardly anybody went to the church. So just now that the people are giving this wiping of the church as so much of importance, it is the old person, oldest inhabitant of that village. He knows the history, he knows how much important the church was in the past and what importance church has in the present time, and how much hypocrisy or how much of snobbery is attached to the people showing themselves as religious and making an issue of wiping of the church and replacing it with the factory for chemicals. So it is the old person who knows the history of a place, who knows the importance of anything, instead of the new person. For the oldest inhabitant knows very well that nobody went to church in the days of his childhood except out of snobbishness. As I said, that it's the old people who know the history of anything, and the oldest inhabitant of this village knows that hardly anybody went to church in his times, and even if they did go to the church, it was all out of snobbishness, out of just show. And that it in his old age, that church has begun once more to be thronged with believers. And only this oldest inhabitant, oldest person who lives in that village, he knows that what the change has come with the passage of time. And now when he has reached his old age, only at present church has been once more thronged with believers. People have started coming to the church. Otherwise, when he was in his childhood, he knows the difference that people hardly went to church. In my capacity of oldest inhabitant, with a senile chuckle, and he gives that in a bracket, that the same old inhabitant who is going to laugh with this proclamation of church being swept and taking a chemical factory taking its place. With this example, he says that I will give one instance of a kindred kind. He says, I'm going to give you one more example, one more instance of a similar kind, of a kindred kind. And the whole idea of giving this example is that Chesterton wants to state that it's the old people who are able to realize any change, and it's the old people who have the knowledge of history, of past, and they are able to compare the past time with the present time. He says that a man must be at least as old as I am in order to remember how utterly idiotic, inconceivable, and crazily incredible it once seemed that any educated or even reasonably shrewd person should confess that he believed in ghosts. Now, it's very interesting to know. He says that a person, if he's as old as I am, he has seen the change, that once upon a time it was like this, that any educated person or a shrewd person or a clever person or you can say literate person hardly ever confessed in front of people that he believed in ghosts. And even if somebody said that he believes in ghosts, he was considered as utterly idiotic, inconceivable. Nobody could ever imagine that an educated person can ever believe in ghosts, and crazily incredible that a person would be taken as something quite unbelievable, that if any educated person says that he ever believed in ghosts. So this was the basic criteria, that if a person is educated, he is not going to believe in ghosts. Once upon a time it was believed like this. And then he continues with this argument. He says, you must be nearly the oldest inhabitant to know with what solid spawn and certainty the squire and the parson denied the possibility of a village ghost. And then he gives an example that because the oldest inhabitant the oldest person who lives in this village, he knows that people, educated people, at one point of time in past, they were considered as a non-believer in ghosts, and even if they said that there is any village ghost, he was scorned, and the squire and the parson. The squire is a military, an army post, and parson is a post from church, and they used to deny absolutely that there is no possibility of any village ghost. The parson even more emphatically than the squire. And being from the religious background and having a hold over this parish, one could see that in those times, parson he used to more emphatically say that there is hardly any possibility of village ghost, and any ghost in village is just impossible thing. And any educated person should not believe that there is anything like ghost. The village ghost was instantly traced to a village drunkard or a village liar. And when people, even if they try to know whether there is a ghost in the village or not, this was quickly proved that all these are rumors, and there is no village ghost. Rather, some village drunkard is considered as a village ghost, or somebody has been telling a lie about there is a ghost in the village. So these things were considered as believing in ghosts as something which is coming from an illiterate person. Any educated person would hardly believe in ghosts. Educated people knew that the dead do not return in the world of sense, because he says oldest inhabitant at a point of time knows that at a point of time, educated people, their behavior, their attitude towards any supernatural thing was that they knew very well that dead do not return to the world of sense. Now, those who remember those times have lived to see a man of science like Sir Oliver Lodge. Now, he gives reference to Sir Oliver Lodge, who was a British physicist, and though he was a man of science, in his later years he developed an inclination towards magic or parapsychology and spirits. So, suddenly, when you are into this mode that educated people do not believe in ghosts, and then you find scientists like Sir Oliver Lodge, and then they are finding this fashionable religion that is the inclination towards the supernatural things, the world of magic, and are amused to hear a young man say the world is moving away from the supernatural. So the oldest inhabitant, he knows that one point of time, educated people don't believe in ghosts. And then in a certain point of time, even scientists like Sir Oliver Lodge, they develop an inclination towards these spirits and supernatural things. And then again, young man is saying that world is moving away from the supernatural. So this old person is going to laugh at this, because he has seen all the times. He has seen in the past that this thing was there, that educated people did not believe in ghosts, and then he has seen the time where he has seen that the scientists, even the educated people, they were developing an inclination towards the supernatural. And then he again is present in the era where young man is saying that world is moving away from the supernatural. So basically, one can see that history is moving in circles. The past is repeating itself in the present, and they know in what direction it has really moved. So it's the old people who exactly know that where world is moving, whether it's moving towards the supernatural or it's moving away from the supernatural, because they were present in this world right from the time when people did not believe in supernatural. Then they were also present in the times where even scientists and educated people developed an inclination towards supernatural, and now they're present in this generation also, where young people are saying that world is moving away from supernatural. They have seen the changes coming in society time and again, and it's only these old people with their experience can say that where exactly the world is moving, because they know that they were present in this world before this newer generation, and they have seen the changes happening quite distinctively and quite clearly in their life. So this way, this essay ends, where Chesterton is trying to say that this is the advantage of old age, that they are able to see the depth of things and they are able to visualize the changes in things. So these are all advantages of old age. Now let's analyze whatever we have done so far. Chesterton says that old people can understand if a new thing is really new or a comeback of old things. So we know that in this essay he talks about that how it's old people who can realize modernity, and it's they who can see that how the things are new or not, or whether it's the old things which are again coming in this recent times. If someone says that these days people don't go to the church, so the village church should be replaced with a chemical factory, the oldest villager would say that in his childhood, even fewer people went to church. So it's the oldest villager who knows the history of a place. He knows that the same thing used to happen when he was a child. Very few people, very less people went to the church when he was a child, and then the church started withdrawn with believers, and then again very few people have started going to the village, and now church is being replaced by a chemical factory. So similarly, young people say that the modern world does not believe in the supernatural. Again, he gives example from this present generation who feel that in the modern world people don't believe in supernatural, but earlier no educated villager ever believed in ghosts, whereas a modern scientist like Sir Oliver Lodge conducts research in parapsychology and paranormal activities. It's the only old person who knows that it's not just because of the modern times or modern educated people. It's also when he was child, or in the past also, all the educated people did not believe in ghosts, whereas in his time, modern scientists like Sir Oliver Lodge, they are developing an inclination towards parapsychology and paranormal activities. And he says that it's the only old person who knows exactly what is happening in the world. He has the insight to things that where exactly the world is moving towards. So Chesterton is happy, and the most likely attributes of his happiness is his understanding of the many proverbs he has come across during his lifetime, as they answer the many questions of conflict that Chesterton or anyone encounters during life. Basically, he says that old age, or as a person matures, he develops a deeper understanding of many proverbs which he has come across in his lifetime, because proverbs have that worldly wisdom in them that questions lot of conflicts that anyone faces in lifetime or anyone encounters during a life. So these proverbs, they act as a guiding source or inspiration for the people, and this guiding source can only be realized when any person achieves that old age, because it's only that time when a person develops a deeper understanding of life, and he knows that these proverbs have a lot of meaning and they are very useful when a person is living, and gives a better meaning towards one's life. So that is the analysis of the essay, and here we finish with this essay by G.K. Chesterton. Thank you.